Your speakers for today are Brian Michaels, Senior Sales Engineer, and Paige Cromer, National Performance Strategist. And with that, I will pass things off to Paige.
Ryan. Here's what we're going to cover over the next 7 minutes or so, and then we'll have a few minutes at the end for Q&A. We'll start by asking, where have all your customers gone? Why does your CSI not tell the whole story? Are your customers being treated, then streeted? And finally, the key to the sustainable way to keep your business volume compounding year after year.
Hi, everyone. Where have all your customers gone? Have you ever contemplated this? Why haven't the number of vehicles you sell increased and compounded every year since you opened? Here's what I mean. Using round numbers, let's say you sold 500 vehicles to customers who bought from you for the first time in that first year you opened up for business. These are fresh, newly minted customers. Let's say you duplicated that performance or even improved it a bit over the next 4 years after that. What should happen in year six? I think the average trade-in time now is a little over 5 years. Isn't it reasonable to think that if even half of those people, just 50% of them, bought from you again, your sales in year six should be 750, and in year 11 it starts to compound from the sales from year six, so 1125? Is that a pipe dream? Yes, kind of, but it's meant to make a point about what your trend line should look like. I get it. Some people move or live far away. There are other factors, of course, but even with dips now and again, the trend line for number of units should always be going up. The trade cycle is just an average. You should see these numbers start to grow and increase and compound pretty much every year because some people trade in every 2 or 3 years, they trade or lease. Some are longer, of course, 5 or 6 years. So you should be able to double your volume in 10 years. That will be something, right? This is all starting to make my head hurt a little bit, but hopefully you get the point. If 90% or even 80% of your customers are happy, completely satisfied, then why aren't these numbers compounding? Why does this not happen? It all starts in the service lane, and it's because your CSI score is not indicative of your customer's true satisfaction. Paige, tell us why.
So your CSI is over 90% or the equivalent every year. Or you're a GM store and your percentage of completely satisfied customers is 80 to 85%. Completely satisfied. So why aren't 90% of your customers repurchasing from you? I know that's ridiculous. And as Brian said, there are other factors. This is true. But how about just half of them, as in the scenario we just laid out? It's because your CSI score does not tell the story accurately. But why? First, we often address the result of a customer complaint, but fail to fix the root cause in a sustainable way. And second, if we're being honest with ourselves, we also rely on a subtle method of intimidation to get the scores we desire. Of course, we need to do this. A CSI score is a number with financial impact, just like others on your financial statement. Although a poor score is certainly an indicator of some problems, you cannot trust that a high score means that all is well. CSI score and customer satisfaction are often two very different things. CSI is a number, customer satisfaction is how our customers actually feel about us and the services that we provide. Do you see the difference? If 80 to 90% of our customers were completely satisfied, shouldn't these 80 to 90% keep repurchasing from you, or at least half of them? Brian, is it really about feelings?
Yes, it is about feelings. You better believe it. I mean, it's a fact that a person never forgets how someone made them feel. How you made them feel will cause them to fall into one of three categories: a promoter, a passive purchaser, or a detractor. Promoters, these happy, contented customers will tell people they know, they'll write reviews, etc. They'll keep coming back, getting more service, buying more vehicles. Passive purchasers are often the recipients of minimum expectations being met. Ho hum, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. Give you an excellent survey? Okay, no problem. They don't care that much. Either way, it's all transactional. Nothing went wrong, so whatever. Nothing stuck. They have no tie to you. And the detractors, well, they're not happy with your services and they talk. Customers talk. We all know that. We've been taught that. It's destructive. Before you can solve a problem, though, you have to determine the causes, and particularly the root causes. The best way to determine if your team is creating promoters, passives, or detractors is not a CSI score. It's MBWA. It's also the best way to discover those root causes. What is MBWA? It's management by walking around. Paige, tell us about it.
Are your customers being streeted? So let's take that walk. Get up, get away from your desk a few times per day. Take a walk. Watch what goes on in your service lane. Really observe. Where is the focus? Does it look like the car rental return line at the airport? Check the box. Check the box. Okay, sign the tablet. See ya. Is the advisor focused on the vehicle or the customer's concerns? Are they making eye contact and engaged with the customer? Is the body language good, or are your customers just being streeted? Write them up, move them out, keep the line moving. Let's go. Treat them and street them. Where is the value in that kind of interaction? I've done some informal polling with my friends and family and asked them, if you had the choice between a service experience in which you just dropped off your car and never spoke to the service advisor at all, completely void of all human interaction, super fast, or one in which you had an attentive service advisor to speak with who listened to you and acknowledged your concerns and it took a little longer, which one would you choose? Overwhelmingly, the choice was the latter. Summing up the comments, they said, "This is my car, and I want to speak to a person about it." Yes, they do. Of course they do.
Are you delivering world-class service consistently, employing active listening, gathering accurate data, presenting accurate maintenance recommendations, checking for recalls, special policies, diagnostic trouble codes, all while staying engaged and focused on the customer's concerns? Are you informing your customers about these things every time? Are you doing a walk around to check safety items like lights and tires? Don't leave that up to the technicians because it often gets missed. The one place where you can absolutely control the consistent delivery on these expectations is in your service lane. Just think about how many tasks the GM, the dealer, or even the OEM have assigned to your service advisors over the years. Why do they do this? Because they know it can be controlled there. Emphasis on can. The most frequent customer event in a dealership is their interaction with a service advisor at write-up. Every service customer goes through that gate. If you want to communicate something to all of your customers, you can do it right there. Are you communicating how much you appreciate them by making this the most welcoming place in the dealership? Are they feeling the love? This is why consistency and sustainability are so important in the service lane. It is your greatest opportunity to create promoters, customers for life, and that compounding volume.
So, how do you begin to turn this opportunity into reality? You need a sustainable plan based on principle and the tools to carry it out. This is where eAdvisor's plug-in technology and consistently correct check-in process is so valuable. It's sort of a paint by numbers approach based on the principles of great customer service. First, respect the customer by staying engaged and actively listening to their concerns. Respect the customer's time by being organized and efficient. Never forget a step because eAdvisor creates an automated roadmap that guides the advisor through the process. It gathers the vehicle data for them, slows them down, and organizes them, and allows them to stay focused on the most important thing in that entire interaction, the customer. Plug the eAdvisor tool into the car and meet with the customer. Discuss their concerns while eAdvisor gathers that data from the vehicle and guides the advisors through the entire write-up. Start taking those walks and see for yourself what's happening on your lane. Whatever is happening, think about what a tool or system like eAdvisor will do to improve it. The ROI and repeat business alone will be dramatic, plus maintenance sales, vehicle service contract sales, etc. Schedule an eAdvisor demo and see for yourself. This is all we do at eAdvisor. Our focus is the service lane and the service advisors. That's it. The service write-up is such an important interaction. We believe it should be your top priority, and that's why we make it ours. That's our 7 minutes of content, leaving a few minutes to answer your questions. So, Rachel, what have you got for us?
Thank you, Brian and Paige. And that concludes this episode of 10 Minutes to Highly Effective Service. We've had some great questions come in, and we have some time to answer those live. So let's get started. Question: does all of this increase the amount of time it takes to write up a customer?
Hi, everybody. I'll take that one, Paige. So, no, it's been my experience that an organized person always gets more done in less time with less stress. eAdvisor gets them organized, and because they do that, it actually takes less time, the cycle time's reduced, and the advisor does your job better.
Perfect. Now, are all those service advisors receptive to this, or would they prefer this over just getting the customers through like cattle?
Well, they're creatures of habit, and many of them have been focused on the wrong things for a long time. It's said that it takes 30 days to create a new habit, but if there's an old habit, it takes 30 days to break the old one and then another 30 days to create the new one. The key is reinforcing the importance of it. If they think you don't care, then they don't care. And you need to acknowledge their progress as well. It's very important that when you see them start to do things better, that you compliment them on that and give them some props for that. But if that answers the question.
I think it does. We have time for one more. So what about the people who decide to drop off earlier the night before?
Paige, you want to take that one?
Go ahead, Brian. You're doing a great job.
Okay. Sorry. Well, I found that if when people, the write-up process for the drop-offs needs to be almost identical to what it is for the in-person write-up. What do I mean by that? Just think about this. If they drop it off at night, you should call them, okay, as you're writing it up. Same plan. eAdvisor allows you to quickly email them a PDF of their maintenance requirements and actually confirm all of their concerns that they've left on their drop-off envelope. So I've always been a believer that the night, checking in a customer in person should be very similar to what you do for a night drop person.
Perfect. So that's about all the time we have today. I would like to thank Brian and Paige for their time and presenting this very valuable information to everyone. And to everyone, thank you so much for your time as well. And to everyone that submitted your questions. If we didn't have a chance to answer yours, we will reach out shortly. We'll also be sending out a copy of the recording later this week. As a reminder, a survey will pop up once the webinar ends, and we would greatly appreciate your responses. And also, please mark your calendars for Thursday, February 15th at 11 a.m. for episode 3. More details and a pre-registration link will be included in your email immediately following this webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. See ya.